and then I went to Wall Street. I was there for a while, and I said, you know what? I don't want to do this shit anymore. I don't want to ask another man, can I take a vacation? And I said,
Mhm.
fuck it. I started investing in the real estate in Philly because it was cheaper than New York or DC. And I just really just built it up. It was a rinse and repeat process. Pull out equity, buy the new place, pull out equity, buy the new place. And I got to a point where I was generating enough money that I didn't have to tap into equity anymore.
So how are you generating like money now? If you're no longer, are you like, because you're no longer in Wall Street or
Hell no.
so what is like your revenue stream now?
Well, I have 57 properties between DC, New York, and Philly. So majority of it comes from
Oh, it's
that.
real estate.
Yeah, just real estate. Whether it's residential, I have commercial buildings as well. I have studio spaces. I have 2 hotels. So it's just, at this point, once I've been doing it for like close to about 12 years, 12 to 15 years now. So it's like clockwork, and it gets boring. When that's all you're doing, it gets boring because it's like, if something goes wrong with one of the places, I can't go there. Someone have to call
Yeah.
somebody anyway. So I was literally just bored.
Yeah, like because, well, I mean, is it is it a risk to um not diversify your revenue streams as much? Because like it's all in real estate. But if
Well,
we
that
get another collapse, right? Like, wouldn't that really affect um your revenue stream?
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because there's another diversification stream within real estate, and that's diversifying your real estate, right? So some people do long term, short term, hotel spaces. So when you diversify in that way, you actually are doing the same thing as diversifying within different streams. Say you want to do stocks, bonds, real estate. If you diversify the type of real estate you're doing, you're essentially doing the same type. You're doing the same diversification. So
But like if
basically,
that I understand, like you're saying you're diversifying the revenue stream within that funnel or that stream, right?
right.
So instead of one river, you have a multiple little rivers that are connecting to one. Um, but if the river, if the water dries out, regardless of how many streams there is, you're still getting less water,
Well, it
right?
depends. Well, it
So
depends on how leveraged you are, right? So after a certain point
yeah.
in time, I stopped having to actually leverage, which is taking mortgage out on different places. So majority of my portfolio is actually paid for in cash, which most people can't find. Andrew Wilson's fans think they're slick and try
Oh,
to
okay.
find like,
So
yeah, but you can't even find like majority of
so
my
you're saying that
portfolio.
like a lot of your properties. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're saying majority of your properties are already like bought and paid for. Like you don't have like a loan on them or anything.
Yeah, majority of them are LLC'd up, so you can't even find them. But like I was saying,
Hmm.
like you have short term, long term, you have quasi
Hmm.
short term, long term, you know, um, and when the market does certain things, either short term will tank or long term will tank, but you're diversified, so you have something to that net. But
To fall
because
back
majority
on.
of the portfolio is owned, then it doesn't really matter at that point.
Yeah. Is that part of your channel? Because I think that would be great to learn. I don't think there's that I'm familiar with a channel that talks about how to purchase real estate and the different types, commercial or residential or long term, short term. Is that what you teach in like your bachelor's program?
Yeah, so I teach that as well, but the main thing that I teach is the thought process you have to have, because I can tell you how to make $1 million a day, but if you don't have the correct thought process, you can lose it all, because it's not really just about acquiring money. It really is about
It's a
discipline and the
mindset.
way. Yeah, it's 1,000% a mindset. You have to really be dedicated to it. You have to be organized, and you can't spend money recklessly when you first get it. So I teach people the mindset, but I do it through a comedic way. When you look at my channel, you say, "Oh, this dude is over the top," but I'm doing it intentionally.
Yeah, you're saying that you're intentionally not flamboyant in that sense, but like um intentionally like overdoing it to prove a point.
Exactly. It's supposed to be like witty humor, if you will. Most
Mhm.
people actually take it seriously, and I'm like, yeah, I do think like that, but I don't talk to normal people like that.
Yeah, a friend of mine wrote